Good morning, everybody. In this video on soft skills, we shall talk about time management. It's very important that we manage our time properly. Otherwise, time will manage us. The concept of time in the ancient India, if we try to follow, it is the life of Brahma, with the help of which that time was scheduled. 311.04 trillion years is the lifespan of Lord Brahma, which would come to 36,000 kalpas. Kalpa is a day. And equal will be the number of nights. So 36,000 days and 36,000 nights will be the lifespan of Lord Brahma. If you look at one kalpa, any one day of Brahma, it would come down to 432 billion years. Can you imagine? 432 billion years. That is 4 manvantaras plus 14 manvantaras plus 15 sandhyas. Let us not go into the technicalities of this. Each kalpa, yani each day of Brahma will come down to 306.72 million years, which is called as one manvantara, 71 divya yugas. And in each manvantara, you have something like Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. I'm sure all of you must have heard these names at least. Though we may not believe it, may not believe it, may understand it, may not understand it, I'm sure all of you must have known these names at least. That we are right now staying in Kali Yuga. Satyuga is the first yuga with 1.728 million years, followed by Treta Yuga, the age of Rama, Lord Rama, with 1.296 million years. Now, Treta Yuga is followed by Dwapar Yuga. Dwapar Yuga is the age of Lord Krishna, which would go around to 864,000 years. And this is followed by Kali Yuga, the Yuga exactly we are into, which is 432,000 years. All these put together, yani one Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga, all put together is present in the Manvantara. And such Manvantaras of 306.72 million years will correspond to one Kalpa. And one Kalpa is just one day in the life of Lord Brahma. Equal is the timing for night. And such like days and nights, we need to have something like 36,000 kalpas with equal number of nights in order to become the lifespan of Brahma. Unconceivable. Inconceivable time it is, and we keep on taking birth and death in this in order to pass almost 36,000 days and 36,000 nights for the life of Brahma. And it is innumerable births and deaths and deaths and births and life and birth and life and birth and death. And again life and birth. That is how we believe in the cyclicity of life. And based upon our karmas, we keep on taking birth in different species, right from plants to animals to humans and so on and so forth. Whether we believe it or not, this is just the concept of time in ancient India. And this time is completely cyclical. It is not just midnight 12 o'clock to morning 12 o'clock and forming day and night, but it is day and night continuously as we already discussed. And this time is also associated with life and death. If you look at the very recent W.B. Yeats's poem, Byzantium and Sailing to Byzantium, it is W.B. Yeats based upon the influence of ancient Indian knowledge, has talked about the Zayur symbol that you exactly see on the extreme top of the left hand corner. It is a Zayur that goes on and on and on, and then death, and from the death again the life begins, and again the Zayur goes up. The two Zayurs are fixed in each other, just like a Damru, as you could see on the right side of the top in the slide. The Damru of Lord Shiva. So your life begins and then it extends and then it comes down and completes its life, death and again life and death and life and death and life and death. So it is a Zayur symbol according to W.B. Yeats and it is Damru according to Lord Shiva. If you come down to the bottom part, The symbol is highly religious. Apart from an important symbol in Hinduism, it is also very important in Judaism. This is what is called as Shiv Shakti in the Indian context, but this also almost is like the Zyre symbol. The top and then the bottom and then the top and then the bottom, and man is somewhere exactly in the middle. So talking about the life and death, talking about the physical life and spiritual life. Even if you look at Darwinism and Darwin's evolution principles, it is man and becoming old and drooping to the earth and dying, and from again death, the life begins, and the child grows up, again goes into man, and it continues. It is always an alpha. Can you look at the alpha there? Very surprisingly, if you look at the modern scientific symbol that is used for space and time, that also is like a Damru or a Zaire symbol. So it is almost like a cone on top and cone at the bottom. So the top cone converging and then the bottom cone converging, and that's it. It's almost like two cones, which is very interesting. So it's very interesting to read the book of Stephen Hawking's on time, Einstein on space and time, and the recent scientists talking about space time and quantum theory in physics. The concept of time in the modern sense, if you try to understand, maybe it starts with the Big Bang, as we already know. The sun had a big bang, whereupon the first few seconds there was nothing, and then after 3 minutes, you could find the atoms that are coming up. And after the atoms being evolved, after 300,000 years, you could find the virus and the microbes and the bacteria evolving. And then after 1 billion years, you could find the planets, and on the planet you could find evolution, from the evolution process from bacteria and virus to the invertebrate animals, from the invertebrate animals to the vertebrate animals. Among the vertebrates, it is the aquatic first, the fish, and then those that can stay on land as well as on the water. So amphibians, just like a frog or a toad is, and then followed by reptiles who can creep on the earth like snakes and crocodiles and lizards and all. And then from reptiles, you could find aves, where the four legs are converted into wings and they can fly in the air, and those that can walk on two legs or four legs and give birth to the young ones. So from the oviparous, giving laying eggs, to the viviparous, giving birth to the young ones and feeding their young ones with their mammary glands and milk, are what are the distinguishing features for mammals. And that is how, the first of all, the monkeys, and then the gorillas, and then the chimpanzees, and then the apes, and from the apes the old stone age man had evolved. So the concept of time is from the Big Bang onwards in the modern sense. And history of the timekeeping devices, if you just give a thought to it, the first was the sundial, as you could see. 2000 BC, from the Sumerians onwards, you could find the sundial. The very first picture is a sundial where the sun falls on it, and which wherever the shadow falls, accordingly the time is in the morning or in the night, and is calculated. And then you have something like the water clock, as you could see in the second diagram. The water continuously is pouring down, and it is a measuring in a conical vessel. In that, from that it is coming down into the bottom, and from there bottom again it is pumped up, and continuously the water is pumping up and comes down. Depending upon the number of times the water empties the vessel, the time is calculated. Now, which was slightly difficult because the water has to be pumped continuously. From there upon, we have the concept of sundials, sand clocks. As you could see in the third picture, you have two conical flasks, one on top of the other, connected with the help of a small hole in between. The amount of time that is taken for sand to come from the top cup to the bottom cup is fixed, and depending upon the number of times we are twisting the sand clock, the time is calculated. From that to automatic, quartz clock has been observed in the modern times in the 20th century, and from there to it is completely a digitalized clock, which will show you the date and the time and the day and the temperature and so on and so forth, including hours, minutes, seconds. And the busy man has time for everything, right? That's very interesting quote because time is the one thing in life that you can never get back. Once it is gone, it's gone forever because time and tide wait for no man. Time is more valuable than money, as Jim Rohn says. Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. It's fixed. Better to be there 3 hours too soon than 1 minute too late, as very well said by William Shakespeare. It's better to be there 3 hours soon than even 1 minute late at the decided time. Mother Teresa very rightly emphasizes the Sufi philosophy and she says, yesterday is gone, tomorrow has not come yet. We have only today. Today is in your hands. Let's begin it. Open it and explore today. Today is yours. Live today. Rather than lamenting upon the past or planning too much about the future, today is in your hand. Just live. Otherwise, what happens? You die even before you learn to live or you lived at all. Lord Chesterfield very rightly says, take care of the minutes and the hours will take care of themselves. And your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. So, whatever you do today, your tomorrow will depend upon that. So, be very careful to manage your time. By the way, what exactly is this time management? Managing time effectively so that the right time is allocated to the right activity is what is time management. Thereby making the best usage of time as time is very limited. Time management is the process of organizing and planning how to divide your time between specific activities. Good time management enables you to work smarter, not harder, so that you get more done in less time. Even when time is tight and pressures are high, you can still be very productive. Failing to manage your time damages your effectiveness and causes much stress, which will be the topic of discussion for the next session, stress management. Because stress management is directly related to the time management. If you can manage your time, you can lead a peaceful life. And if you cannot, you will lead a stressful life, which makes your life miserable. Vilfredo Pareto, an Italian economist, comes out with 80 by 20 principle, which is also called as the Pareto principle. In fact, Pareto principle is applied to the world of economics because he has observed the society and he says that 20% of efforts would produce 80% of the results if they are managed well. Because the land is owned by a few but worked by many. 20% owns the land and enjoys the fruits of the production. 80% work from them and earn only 20%. Did you realize that? What Pareto has applied to the Italian land is also applied to any land and to any phenomena. Because recognize the 20% is the key to making the most effective use of time. 80% of unfocused efforts generate 20% of results only. Whereas 20% of focused efforts in any field will generate 80% of your results. Now, this applies to your studies as well. To any walk of life, 80% of unfocused efforts generate only 20% of efforts of results. And 20% of focused efforts generate 80% of your results. Interesting? Yes. Now take a small test. Examine yourself. You would say that you are in 80% if you are working on tasks which other people want you to, but you have no investment in them. You are in the 80% if you are frequently working on tasks labeled as urgent. You are in the 80% of the people and efforts put in if you are spending your time to tasks that you are not good at doing. If the activities are taking longer and pretty longer time than you expected, then you are in the 80%. You are in the 80% if you find yourself complaining all the time and frowning that I'm not able to complete it. I have been working, but I'm not able to. I don't have time. I don't know what to do. I'm very busy. I cannot spend time on anything properly. If you are constantly talking about this, then believe me that you are in the 80%. What should you do? Shift to 20% then. You are in the 20% if you are engaged in activities that advance your overall purpose in life. You are in the 20% if you are doing things that you have always wanted to do, or you are doing things that make you feel very good about yourself and satisfied with whatever work has been done by you. You are in the 20% if you are working on tasks you don't like, but you are doing them knowing they relate to some advantages. You are in the 20% of the work if you are hiring people to do the tasks that you are not good at or don't like doing, and you are always smiling and relaxed. Now you identify yourself as to which part you are putting into. Are you in the 80% or are you in the 20%? If you are in the 80%, it's now time to think regarding time management very seriously. If you're in the 20%, good, very good. Keep it up and keep going. Or if you want to shift to 20%, yes, this lecture will be helpful to you a lot. The sense of time management is very, very essential because time and tide, as we said, wait for no one. And in fact, in this postmodern days, time is money. Don't waste even a single second because you'll be losing money then. And the wheel of time, as is typically represented in the Indian context, is like a snake, and the tail of the snake is within its mouth. So it's a continuous gyre symbol that is going on, keeping the wheel of time rotating and it doesn't stop. We might stop and relax, but these natural things like time, nature, don't stop. They keep on moving whether you like or not. So now it is the time to shift from the 80% of managing the things to the 20% and live a quality life. The features of time would be that number one, time is an asset. It is an asset of fictitious nature, but definitely it is an asset. You should know how to invest it to take the best out of it. Number two, time is an opportunity. It's a chance that is given to an individual to create, innovate, and manufacture something. If you're not doing it, you actually are wasting your time, you're wasting your life. Because time is limited in its supply, and you can never, never get back even a single second that is lost. So be very careful about time. We behave as if we are going to live for eternity, but live as if today is the last day. This moment is the last moment. Who knows what is going to happen next? It's very important that you plan up your time. The three secrets of time management are value of time is very important. It cannot be substituted. Money can be, material things can be. Today you might have crores of rupees. Tomorrow you might become pauper, but day after tomorrow you might earn with your hard work and dedication and concentration. But time would never come up. Even if you are earning crores, you would have reached your 60s and 70s. That time is already gone. So time is very, very valuable, which cannot be brought back. It is time budgeting is required. Budgeting is very, very careful. Be very choosy as to how you are going to spend your single vacation because the time would not come again. How you are going to spend a single day because it is not going to come back. How you are going to spend a single second because that also is never going to come back. More than money, time is to be budgeted properly. We take care of budgeting of the money. We spend, very carefully calculating the money and all, but we need to calculate the time. Money automatically will be calculating itself. Concentration is what is required. Doing one's immediate thing is what is important. Doing one's immediate duty in hand with proper care and attention will definitely budget the time in a proper way. So, the three secrets of time are value it, budget it, and concentrate to spend it in an effective way. This time management matrix is, in fact, very, very popular and is given by Stephen Covey in his book that we already has discussed in the previous video. The seven steps, right? The seven effective uh, you know, uh, habits, the seven habits of very famous people. He talks of the time management matrix as two important things. One is important things, the other is urgent. If you look into the matrix, on the y-axis you could find the importance, on the x-axis you could find the urgency. So the block that is pointed as number 1 is highly important and highly urgent. Urgent and important things, you have to do it right now without any delay. Then maybe the medical, we will be discussing the examples of each, but understand the matrix first. So the first block is highly important and very urgent, which requires an immediate action. So do it now is the first thing. The second block, which is in yellow color, it is important but less urgent. It's not that very urgent. So decide when to do it. It's important. You have to do it. You know it. Decide as to when you could do it and plan it out. The third block, which is in green color, is less important but urgent. If it is urgent and is not so important for you, you delegate it to somebody. Plan it out and distribute it to somebody. Decentralized actions always help you to work better. The fourth, which is in the blue block, is not important, not urgent. If it is not important, if it is not urgent, just don't do it. Remove it from your list. So, whatever works you have, plan out in such a way, whichever are important and urgent need to be done immediately. Whichever are important but not very urgent, you can decide it at some time later when to do it, with a deadline, of course. And those that are important, less important but urgent, you'll have to delegate it, plan and give it off, distribute it, and see that the work is done. And those that are not important and not urgent are to be dumped up and are to be deleted. Let us look at the first quadrant now, urgent and important. Do now. What type of works are those which are very urgent and very important? Emergencies, especially with the health issues, crisis, which needs to be, especially in the job markets, where you have a deadline, where you have an order that is given by boss. All those are crisis part which have to do today itself. Demands from the boss, you cannot deny it. You cannot postpone it. Planned tasks due now. Whatever you have planned yesterday or maybe a month before to do it today, you have to complete it. Seeing a doctor when you are sick, never postpone it. That is very urgent because if you are healthy physically, you can work better. Meetings and appointments that are already fixed, you have to attend to it and finish it. Paying of the bills, you cannot deny, you cannot postpone it. Immediately do it. Family demands, promises that are made to the children or to your parents or to the respective spouse, you have to fulfill them. All these are urgent and important, family wise, career wise, studies wise, as well as office wise. The second category is not urgent but important. What have you to do? You have to plan it then when to do it. Like studying, you just give a plan to it. It is important. It is urgent. You have to do it because your semester exams are approaching. But not today itself you have to complete it. No, it is not like that. It is urgent but not very important, which could be done today itself. You have to plan for it. Studying, planning for your little future, relationship building, developing changes, replying important letters. Right now, immediately sitting in the middle of the studies, you need not reply. But you have to reply sometime. Maybe in the night, maybe tomorrow morning, maybe sometime. So plan it. Eating regularly, healthy food, so you plan it and breakfast is accordingly, lunch is accordingly, brunch is accordingly, and supper and dinner are accordingly. So plan it out. Attending the classes, of course you'll have to plan it and you'll have to attend on time. Taking up the revision tests, you have to take the revision tests so that you will understand where you stand. So they are important, important, but not very urgent that you'll have to complete today itself. They are important definitely. Studying, planning, attending classes, taking tests, replying letters, regular healthy habits are all important. That will build up your personality. But plan it because they are not urgent. Second category. The third category will be not important but urgent. If they are not important but urgent, maybe explain, reject, or delegate somebody. Attending some phone calls, you can always tell your subordinates to do that if you're doing an urgent piece of work, an important piece of work. Attending parties, Somebody could represent the house. If your house is a joint family and one brother is busy, the other brother could be delegated. So delegate somebody. From your office, need not necessary that all the staff has to go. You can represent it. Seeing a movie, taking account of attractive discount sales. Now, this is one area which I want to concentrate and I want to say to the students that online shopping has made it very, very busy. A number of discount sales keep on moving, and you have the advertisements attracting you and wasting much of your time. Maybe browsing at various centers like Amazon and Flipkart and etc., Mintra, and etc., where you buy less but waste your time more. And then you realize that you have already spent away your entire time without doing anything. Trivial requests from others, know as to what is important, what is urgent. It's not important, not urgent. Say somebody. Ad hoc interruptions and distractions. Somebody coming in the middle when you're doing an important work. Let's see that some of your family member or maybe an office staff will engage them instead of you yourself getting engaged into it and spoiling your entire evening. Instead of studying, you're chit chatting with them. It's important because somebody has come to your house. But it's not necessary that you have to sit for yourself to talk to them, foregoing your studies, foregoing the urgent piece of work that you're doing. So delegate it, reject it. If you cannot delegate, just reject it. If you cannot reject very bluntly, you just explain that you are busy right now and maybe you would meet him after 10 days when your examinations are over. So, apparent emergencies that come, unknown and sudden emergencies that prop up, you could appoint anybody. Pointless and routine activities that you are involved into, reject them. Reject them. The fourth quadrant is not important, not urgent. Watching movies, I don't know whether it is not important, not urgent for you. Watching TV, chatting with the friends, internet chatting, sightseeing, shopping, computer games, mobile WhatsApp, and daydreaming. Maybe some of you might feel that all these are very important. And this is how you keep yourself busy and engaged all through the day. But suddenly realize that the entire semester has slipped away and the semester is fast approaching, maybe within 10 days, and you are not done with your studies at all. So decide upon your priorities. This is where time management comes. So if all these are there, like watching movies and watching TV and chatting with friends, etc., then you decide that that is the fourth quadrant. Not important, not urgent. Just resist it and cease. Stop doing all these things. If you analyze this time matrix that is given by Stephen Covey, you would find that people in the quadrant 3 and 4 waste a lot of time, don't they? More time spent in quadrant 3 and 4 will expand the quadrant 1 because quadrant 1 cannot be avoided. That is urgent, that is important. You have to do it. Whether you are spending the whole day in quadrant 3 or 4, you have to finish your quadrant 1. So if you are spending away the entire time in quadrant 4 or quadrant 3, automatically quadrant 1, in doing that and completing that, you will get a stress. That would lead to stress. That would lead to depression. That would lead to confusion. That would lead to anger, delusion, everything. So, more time spent in quadrant 3 and 4 will expand the quadrant 1. People in quadrant 3 and 4 struggle in meeting the deadlines because they are wasting away their entire time. More weightage to quadrant 2 is given. Now that will shrink the time of quadrant 1. 2 is better. Ideally speaking, you should always be focusing on staying at quadrant 2. Because quadrant 2 is a very safe planning part on strategies and values. You can plan it very well and see that the stress of quadrant 1 also is reduced by efficient planning. From the time management perspective, more time is to be spent in quadrant 2, proactively pursuing those things that are important to us so that quadrant 1 also can be managed effectively. Don't you think? So if you are in quadrant 3 and 4, now it is time for you to wake up and plan properly to jump into quadrant 2 so that quadrant 1 also can be taken care of. The 4 Ds of time management that we have to keep in mind is number 1 is certain unimportant tasks are to be dropped. Drop it. Just shift delete. Quadrant 4. The second is delegate the work that is not necessary for you to do. Somebody else can do it for you and you can be relaxed. Delegate it. So learn which work can be delegated, learn which work should be done by you yourself. The third D is delay. Work that is not needed immediately, just postpone it, plan it, that tomorrow you will do, or in the evening you will do, not right now. So delay it. The unimportant work you take up in hand and you start doing it now, and the important work is postponed. The deadline is evening 5 p.m. Automatically you'll be stressed out. Don't you think? So learn which work is to be done immediately, as the fourth D is do. What is essential, what adds the most value, what is important, urgent and important is do. Not so very urgent, but important. Delay. Not important, not urgent also. Drop it. It is important, but not very urgent. Delegate it to somebody. So you should know, according to the four quadrants, drop, delegate, delay, and do. What work you should do, what work can be delayed, what work should be delegated, and what work is to be dropped out completely. If you understand this type of management, automatically you are on the right track and you are managing your time efficiently. The time management includes effective planning, setting goals and objectives, setting the deadlines, delegation of responsibilities, prioritizing activities as per importance, spending the right time on the right activity. Let's look at all these six items individually. What do you mean by effective planning? Plan your day well in advance. Prepare a to do list, task plan. Order them according to the priorities. Allocate suitable time for each activity. My way of effective planning is in the very morning at 4 o'clock when I get up, have my coffee. I keep on thinking as to what work is to be done today. And my habit is to write on a piece of paper. I have a diary with me. You must have seen me with the diary. Write all the activities and tick as to which is the important one, and then what have you to do. By morning 7 o'clock, what have you to complete? Obviously, my priority will be classes. So make the videos of the classes, 2 classes per day I take, make both the videos and post it. Once that is over, then a bit of other work, the housework, and then the accuracy work, and then some other works. So prioritize them, think about it, and make a map in your mind. That is what is effective planning. The plan could be there in your mind, the plan also could be there, maybe on a piece of paper or in a diary. Always make a habit of writing the diaries. Diary of not telling everything what you are doing, but how to plan it out. Allocate suitable time for each activity. Complete the pending tasks. Yesterday you had planned for 8 tasks and you could complete only 6. That remaining 2 will be your priority list. So complete that and also complete today's priority part. Tick the ones you have already completed and make it a habit that at the end of the day you will check it up. What have you completed? What have you not completed? And why didn't you complete it? And how are you planning to complete it? So talk to yourself more. Effective planning is nothing but your way of talking to yourself. What have I to do today? What I have to do in 1 month, in 1 week, this semester, this academic year? Such type of planning is a must, and sticking on to the plan definitely helps you to manage it better. Ensure to finish tasks within the stipulated time. That's very important. And if you are not, maybe 1 or 2 tasks are left, plan as to how you can finish them without affecting the tomorrow's timetable. Effective planning is the first part in time management. Setting your goals and objectives is the second one. Set your goals which are feasible and realistic. You can't say that within 1 day I'm going to do 50 tasks. It's practically not possible. You can't say that I'm going to complete this by going to Aurangabad and coming back, and then I'm also going to work for 5 more tasks. No, it's not possible. So set the goals that are feasible, that are realistic, that are achievable. Working without the goals or the objectives is like a ship without direction. The ship moving about anytime, as you could see on the second picture. You should be very focused. The goal should be in front of you for today, for a week span, for a month span, for maybe a semester span, for within 1 year, and within 5 years, what am I going to do? And constantly revise and re-revise whether you are trying to achieve goals and objectives in a better way. If not, again planning is what is required. Why are you failing? And to achieve them, what planning is required is a constant internal thought that should be going on within you to plan your life effectively and plan the time effectively. The third is setting deadlines. This is how I work. Setting deadlines for every task and be committed to it. By 12 o'clock, this recording should be over and should be posted. Yes, it should be over. Unless and otherwise you have some technical problems like a power cut or no internet facility, etc. Otherwise, your planning should work well. And after 12 o'clock, just switch it off and shift to another work that you have planned. You cannot be sitting with the work throughout the day, postponing the other works, thereby disturbing the entire schedule. No, that is a bad time management. Set the deadlines for every task. You have to write a paper, set the deadline as 1 week, the first 2 weeks a little browsing and understanding about the topic, then sitting to write, 2 days, 1 day revision and re-revision, and the sixth day you finalize it and send it to either the seminar or to your teacher regarding the project. So set the deadlines and work accordingly and be committed to it. Never wait for being asked. This is one thing that should be a very bad way of doing the task. If somebody has given you the task, say your boss has given you if you're working in an office or your teacher has given you, and the deadline is Saturday, that's it. By Saturday, it should be over. And even before the other person asks, you should send it, you should show it, and ask for the feedback. Learn to be self motivated to complete them within the deadlines. Working within the deadlines will definitely enable you to manage your life and time better. The fourth is delegation of responsibilities. Many a times in the age of multitasking, with a person doing a number of tasks, it's not possible that a person can take care of all the tasks. Identify the priorities and don't do everything on your own. Distribute the work. Roles and responsibilities are to be distributed to all the employees or all the people in the group. Distribution of work should be according to their interests and qualifications and specializations. To distribute the work and to distribute the work effectively among the people and get the work done also is a skill by its own, which will make you evolve as a leader. It's not necessary that you have to do all the works of an organization by yourself. It's not possible. Your quality of work will be hampered. So learn to distribute the work to the employees or to your friends and always try to work in teams, which will have a better result. The fifth important aspect is prioritizing activities as per importance. As we already said, the grid is known to us. Urgent and important, do it now by yourself. A green hand, thumbs up. You have to do it. Important but not urgent, decide when to do it. Urgent and not important, delegate the work. This is the hand, yellow hand. Divide it, distribute it, and see that the work is done. Not important, not urgent, delete it. Red hand, red thumbs up, and thumbs down rather. So delete it. Learn as to how you can prioritize the work and be productive. The sixth important aspect is spending the right time on the right activity. Success is simple. Do what is right at the right way at the right time. Just like Coleridge says, poetry is very simple. The right word at the right place. How will you do it? If you are a poet, it automatically comes. Of course, even poets have to struggle a lot to put the right word in the right place. So as we also need to struggle to do the right thing in the right way at the right time. Develop the habit of doing right thing at the right time. If you follow the deadlines, if you have a proper planning, if you prioritize the things, automatically you're doing right thing at the right time. Work done at the wrong time is not of much use. It will put you into trouble. It will also put your team into trouble. Keep some time for your personal things like your calls with your near and dear, your personal conversations, checking your WhatsApp messages, sometimes visiting your Facebook also and checking it up. All these will relax you. Know the ways of relaxation so that you can again come back with regenerated energy and do the right thing in the right time, in the right way. Learn these things. So, characters of a good time manager would be number one, be organized. For me, this is very, very important. And with my personal experience, I tell you, keep everything clean and tidy. With cleanliness itself, I believe that godliness it makes you feel, and you feel like working. Look at the picture. A neat office, everything in the respective places, the books in the respective places, the stationery, yes, it is, the laptop, and then the computer, and everything is in the right way. If you keep your things clean, you automatically will feel like working. The proper filing should be there, folders should be in their respective places, stationery should be properly organized, clean every time. Make it a habit to clean it. Every Sunday should be a day which you allot for cleaning your entire room, cleaning your entire workplace, cleaning your entire study table. Disciplined and punctual should be, so that you can be very well organized and you feel like working with double the energy. That's the first thing. Second thing is, don't misuse the time. Don't loiter here and there. Don't gossip with people. Don't kill the time or pass the time just watching the WhatsApp messages or logging into, some shopping sites. Stay focused. You have put the time of 3 hours to complete the task. Within 3 hours, you should complete the task and revise it and finalize it. You cannot be, wasting your time or passing your time, and 4 hours is over and you have not even started your work. That would not help you to complete the work. And the moment you realize that your boss is at the top of your head asking you to complete the work, you complete it somehow and submit it. Thereby, the quality of the work is hampered. That is not 100% of what you are. You are much more potent to produce the qualitative work. See that you produce the work and then relax. In your leisure time or relaxation time, you can do anything. Till then, number three, be focused. You have already planned through planners and calendars and diaries and timetables. Follow one thing, write everything and keep time wise. Manage everything and organize everything and keep. Stick on to the timetable. Be focused. It is this focus and concentration in doing the work that will help you to complete the work with high rate of productivity. Otherwise, the quality of the work will be very low and you get frustrated. Your boss gets frustrated. People around you get frustrated and everything goes bizarre. So be focused. Never misuse the time and add life to work. Enjoy your work. And you can enjoy your work with a small tea breaks in between. Say 4 hours of work you have planned. After 2 hours, just take a break. Move about here and there. Take a call from your friend or from your family. Do some surfing part for just 5 to 10 minutes and then again come back to work. These rules are to be imposed on ourselves. Nobody else will impose rules on us. Now, the monitoring by the parents and the teachers and all is over because you're almost in the last part of your academic year, maybe the graduation final year or post graduation final year. Now, you don't expect anybody to monitor you. You don't even like it. You may not appreciate it. You know that you're grown up. If you're grown up, have your own rules then. Make your own rules. Don't overload yourself. Plan it properly with proper breaks and start enjoying the work. Do only that work where you receive enjoyment. Automatically, you can give 100% of it. With the small breaks, be organized, never misuse time, be focused, and enjoy your work. These are the characteristic features of good time manager. Why should I do all this? Anyway, the work will be completed. Under pressure, within half an hour also, I can complete the work. Now, the benefits of time management is that to make judicious use of time, you always should have the to-do list and tick the list as to what you have completed it. Specific time for specific activity. Remember, the entire universe follows and honors time. Imagine that the sun has not risen. It is morning 6 o'clock and the sun has not risen because the sun was lazy, as we also feel lazy. Oh, it can never happen. Imagine that it is springtime and the flowers did not bloom up because nature was, or the plants became a bit lazy. No, it doesn't happen. When it is spring, the flowers bloom. When it is summer, it's a hot sun. When it is autumn, it is rainfall. When it is winter, it is snowfall. This cycle of time keeps on moving, and everything in nature respects it. Imagine that the planets are not respecting this time and they feel lazy. Imagine that our own earth feels lazy and would not rotate around itself. Oh, the day and night would not take place. Imagine that it feels lazy and it is not revolving around the sun. Oh, the seasons would not come up. Imagine that the moon feels lazy and is not rotating around the earth. Can you ever imagine that these things might happen? Never, never. Nature always respects time. Whatever has to happen in the right time would definitely happen. When it is spring, you could find the blooming on the mango tree. And when it is autumn, you could find the fall of leaves. You can never have a vice versa. You can never have a delay. Whenever the rainfall has to come, May 10th rainfall has to come, it falls. It falls. Otherwise, how is the farmer going to survive? If nature is so strict, the sunrise at the right time and the sunset in the right time, the moonrise in the right time and the moon set in the right time. Everything in nature follows and respects time. Don't you think that we, as the part and parcel of nature, also have to respect time? Always do to-do list and give specific time to specific activity. The morning activities would be different, the evening activities would be different, and you decide how you can plan your life so that your life will become more beautiful, more enjoyable, not frustrated. Makes you more organized, boosts your morale and confidence, reduces the time to reach your goal, and reduces stress and anxiety. Do you think? And you come out with the feature, yes, I can, and yes, I will, with a greater confidence. This is what is required, rather than, no, I quit. Now, this happens when you're not planning your life properly and time properly. It's very, very important that you obey and respect time so that your life will become more beautiful, more positive. Some of the tips of time management are that reach office or college on time. Now, this is very important. Punctuality is very important. You cannot expect your teacher to be late by 15 minutes every day. How can a teacher expect the student to be late every day? The same rule applies. In fact, 5 minutes earlier, 2 minutes earlier, the teacher as well as the student should be within the class. The same applies to every part of. If you have to leave your house by 7:30 for the 7:40 lecture, you expect your mother to give you roti and sabzi by 7 o'clock. Imagine that she is late by 10 minutes. How frustrated you become. And thereupon you miss your bus. And thereupon you miss your first lecture. And thereupon you are scolded by your principal. Oh, the entire day is devastating. Yes or no? When you expect others to be on time, don't you think that the same expectation lies from us also? Avoid any frequent leaves. Be very punctual. Be sincere. Be committed. Reach, always maintain time. Reach office or your workplace on time. Prepare a task plan. Use the planners and the notepads. Believe me, I follow this, and that is the best way to do the things. Always carry a small diary, a date diary. Today, what have I to do? Plan for the year, plan for the semester, plan for the month, and plan for the day every day. Use the planners. Urgent and important are to be done, and then relax. Manage yourself very well at the workplace, with the emails, with the personal traits, with the eating habits, with the talking habits, with the chatting habits, everything. Manage well so that you can be really an acceptable human being in your society, in your house, and in your office. Now, the difficulty with this time management is all of us know that we have to manage time. All of us know that we have to have a time management. This is so difficult to implement it because there are a number of interruptions like phones and mobiles, they don't follow any time. Interruptions could be with the visitors also. They may come any time and spoil your entire schedule. Sometimes meeting may go very long, longer than what you have decided or what you have planned. Sometimes indecisions that take place in the meetings. The meeting is so frustrating. Acting with the incomplete information, poor communication, lack of planning, many a times your inability to say no also increases the difficulties in managing your time. Learn to say no whenever you have to say. To obey others is very good. To do the things of others is very good, very helping, very great of you. But you should know to say no when you have to say. Otherwise, you'll be overburdened. Evils of not planning thereby will bring about procrastination or postponing of things, because you cannot do too many things at a time. Automatically you'll be postponing them. Many a times for many works you will see that you are having setbacks or failures. Sometimes you are confused. Your inability to act will irritate you. That will affect your relationships. That will develop the complexes, and thereupon you become depressed and stressed. Oh, the life become very miserable. That is the most important evil effect of not planning anything. Look at some interesting facts about time. An average Indian lives for 60 years. Let us see how he spends his time. Waiting at the signal, 6 months. Looking for misplaced objects, 1 year. Driving a two-wheeler, 2.5 years. Waiting in a queue, 5 years. Eating, 6 years. In his entire lifespan. Okay. In the bathroom, 7 years. In the workplace, 15 years. In the bed, 23 years. Total is 60 years. Where is any productive work at all? The animal also has come into this world, taken birth. You also have. It also lives. You also are living. It also is taking care of the basic necessities of life. You also are. It dies. You die. What's the difference? Where is productivity? Where is creativity? Where is something of meanness or I-ness that I leave in the world after I leave the world? Where are the footprints that I leave? A better way of spending the day is 45% of each day meeting the biological needs like sleeping, dressing, grooming, eating. 40% of each day at the work, 15% socializing, right? So plan it properly. See here, Mr. X spends his time. Sleep is 10 hours, eating is 2 hours, socializing is 3 hours, personal is 3 hours, travel is 1 hour, classes is 4 hours, reading is 1 hour. No writing, no thinking, no exercising. He doesn't have time because the 24 hours get exhausted. A better way of spending the time is sleep 8 hours. That's very important. Eating 1.5 hours only. We eat only to live, but never live for eating. Socializing is important for 1 hour, not more than that. Personal, spend with yourself for 2 hours in thinking, in planning, in executing, and relaxing. Travel 1 hour. Classes 4 hours, you cannot minimize it. A teacher, if I'm a teacher, I have to spend 4 hours minimum in the classes. Reading, if I'm spending 4 hours in the classes, the reading should be 3.5 hours. Only then my classes will be effective. Writing for at least 1 hour. Thinking, it's very important. This is what we don't do at all. 1 hour. Exercising, 1 hour to keep yourself fit and healthy. So this is a better way of spending your time. See as to how you are spending your time. These people are called as time wasters who are indecisive, inefficient, unanticipated interruptions that do not pay off, procrastination, unrealistic time estimates, unnecessary errors being committed. Crisis management is poor. Poor organization, ineffective meetings, micromanagement, doing urgent rather than the important things, failure to delegate, and lack of priorities. On the contrary, you would find these as time savers. Manage the decision making process, not the decisions. That's very important. Concentrated working, daily short term, mid term, and long day term plans. Handle correspondence quickly with short letters and short mails. Throw unneeded things away. Proper planning and organization. Following the personal deadlines. Ensuring purposeful meetings. Get rid of all the busy work. Maintaining accurate calendars. Using the checklists. Time for reflection and adjust priorities. They are time savers. An ideal task plan could be you write the date and day. I get up at 4 a.m. So get up, do the exercises, do some yoga to make yourself fit. The 9 a.m. day begins with the office. So 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. most urgent and important works with client A finish. 12 noon to 1 urgent but not very important. Client B. So discussion with the team members and execution. 1 to 1:30 lunch, 1:30 to 1:40 call the family. Relax. Talk to your friends or family. 1:40 to 3 the most urgent with client C. 3 to 4 the urgent client D. So A, B, C, D, all the clients you have taken care of. 4 to 5, talk with the boss for the completed work and the to-do list for tomorrow. 5 to 5:15, clean, check your mails. 5:15 to 6, discussion and planning with your team members for tomorrow's work. 6 to 6:15, organize your workstation. Don't leave your working place in a messy way. Early in the morning, the way you want your workstation to look like, exactly the same way you should leave. So organize yourself, organize the entire mess that you have made all through the day on your workplace. 6:30, just leave. 6:30 to 10, you're relaxed with your family. Don't worry about your workplace. And the day ends. So you have given importance to A, B, C, D clients and also relax with your family and ended the day. Realizing the value of time is very important. This beautiful poem. To realize the value of 1 year, ask a student who failed a grade. To realize the value of 1 month, ask a mother who delivered a premature baby 1 month before. To realize the value of 1 week, ask the editor of the weekly newspaper. Only he knows because within the week he has to put up the newspaper. To realize the value of 1 hour, ask the lovers who are waiting to mate. Oh, they can understand the value of 1 hour. To realize the value of 1 minute, ask a person who missed the train by 1 minute. To realize the value of 1 second, ask a person who just avoided an accident. To realize the value of a millisecond, ask a person who won a silver medal in the Olympics. Time waits for no one. It waits for none. Treasure every moment you have and live it with utmost precision. This is a small time management test that I have made for you. It is not made by me actually. It was available on the net and I have put the questions for you. Each question has got a scale from 1 to 10. 1 is never, 5 is sometimes, 10 is always. So mark accordingly. Do I postpone the decisions? You mark it for yourself. Do I ever procrastinate? Any delay the things? Do I put off my routine work? Do I get worried with reading? Do I have too many interruptions during the work or study? Do I put off difficult tasks because they need hard work? Do I fall to delegate and share my work with others with whom I work? Do I have too many visitors? Do I have trouble saying no? Do I attempt too much at once? Do I arrive late for meetings, appointments, or classes? Do I leave job undone? Do I leave jobs half done? Do I have messy study or work area? Do I always want to do it myself and not delegate anybody? Do I socialize too much? Do I spend too much of time on TV, films, or reading novels? Do I feel a lack of self discipline? Do I worry a lot about my work or study? Do I feel as though I'm neglected my family and friends? Do I feel as though I'm not making enough personal contacts and personal relationships? Do I accept more work than I can handle? Do I plan my work or study properly? Do I spend too much of time daydreaming? Do I often just hang around just doing? These are some set of 25 questions that I found very interesting, which is aptly applicable to all of us. If your score is 0 to 8, you are in great shape. If your score is between 9 and 15, you are in the middle. You require time management properly. Probably a good management of time will help you based upon this lecture. 16 to 26, you definitely need help. Not just time management, but an appointment also to manage yourself better. So go through the entire test, all the questions again, and mark yourself yes or no. Summing up, Benjamin Franklin's 12 management lessons are very interesting. Strive to be authentic, be honest to yourself. Don't show off. Favor trusting relationships because people are more important. Time is more important than anything else. Always maintain a lifestyle that will maximize your energy. Always listen to your biorhythms and organize your plan accordingly. Whatever I like to do right now, whatever my wishes are, whatever my goals are, these will give you a better direction than what you have to do. So that is what we mean by biorhythms. Set few priorities and stick to them. Turn down things that are not consistent with your priorities. Set aside time for focused effort. Constantly look for ways of doing things faster and better. Learn to build the solid processes that run without your attention. Learn to spot troubles ahead and find solutions in advance. Break your goals into smaller units and handle one task at a time for a better completion. Finish what is important and stop doing what is not at all worthwhile in your life. Decide upon your priorities now. Manage your time with the urgent and important things. Remember, in life, people are important, relationships are important. Your heart speaks to you better than your brain. The 10 secrets of happy living by managing time efficiently is complain too little and tip too much. Put your face in the sunshine always. Have a pet, maybe a dog or a cat, that will relax you. Walk and then walk and then walk and then walk some more for your exercise and keeping you fit. Talk to someone you love every day, maybe your mother, maybe your teacher, maybe your sister, maybe your friend, but talk. Laugh, laugh, and laugh until you cry. Just laugh every day and keep smiling all through. Drink water and then drink some more water to keep you hydrated and healthy. Sleep all night long. Minimum sleeping time is 8 hours. Get a good sleep to make you healthy. Spend time alone sometimes. At least in a day, a few moments should go with spending the time alone, talking to yourself. Because as Vivekananda says, if you don't talk to yourself, you are missing to talk to a wonderful genius on this world. You are the genius. Talk to yourself. Sometimes spend time together also with your friends, with your family, with your near, with your dear. So be within yourself, be with others, and just enjoy living life. Early in the morning when you get up, before managing your time, go through all these morning affirmations. I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am secure. I'm worthy. I'm positive. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I'm beautiful. I'm confident. I'm courageous. And I'm excited about today. I'm going to live and manage my time today and ever. Wow, you already have become the leader. You already have become a manager. You not only are managing your time, but you are managing everything of your life. Don't you think? Wow, become the great manager. Thank you very much for being a part of this video on time management. I hope all of you would manage your time better and lead a healthy, safe, comfortable, and smiling life. Bye for now. Stay tuned for the next videos.